and welcome to the channel that covers everything where health and technology meet. Today we're providing an update on my Bowflex Velocore experience, how the repair process went, how working with support went, how the bike is working after the console replacement, and my updated overall thoughts on the Bowflex Velocore. So let's start with the repair process. I first called Bowflex support December 15th. Yes, that's a minute ago. And I finally got the console that fixed this April 6th. And that is 112 days from problem to resolution. That's not good. And you might be thinking, there is no way I'm gonna buy from a company that takes almost 4 months to fix their brand new bike that was just delivered. And I don't blame you for thinking that. But let's level set for just a second. And as a very quick example, my family loves to travel, so we want to get an RV. Normally, you pop it in Google and it says, here are a ton that are available around you, go get it. And then you have it, done deal. Right now, you go to the RV dealership and they say, let's put an order in. Hopefully we'll have it in 6 months. And that's just how it is. Why? Because they have a million supply chain issues. They have people availability issues. They're having a hard time keeping people staffed due to COVID. But also due to COVID, they're having a hard time getting all the equipment needed to build that RV. They have RVs sitting everywhere that are mostly built, but they just can't get this or this. And the exact same thing is happening to the home gym industry. They are getting orders like crazy. Everybody's stuck at home, everybody wants products. And as a result, there's a huge backlog and there's a whole bunch of supply chain issues. And as a result, it's just hard to get, one, new products delivered, but repairs as well. It's just the world we live in right now. So while it sounds terrible to have to wait 4 months to fix a product, I don't think this is a reflection of Bowflex the company, because every company in home gym is experiencing this right now. It just is what it is. And I think this is something that will pass over time as we get out of this current situation we're in. Short version, I'm not gonna hold this against Bowflex. I just don't think this is something that they can control right now. And how did support go? Something you might be able to relate to is that when you call a company for support, you get the feeling like they're trying to do everything they can to not support you, to try to have you give up. They redirect your phone calls over and over. They stall and they take forever to get back to you on support questions. They tell you they're gonna call you back and they don't, and then you have to go through a phone queue again. If they are gonna ship you a product to try to fix it, they ship you the cheapest one possible, just trying to save money, even though they know that might not fix it. They kind of just do everything they can to have you eventually give up. And I am very happy to say that Bowflex was not one of those companies in the slightest. And I point that out because that experience does exist in home gym equipment. And the last thing you want to do is go spend $2,500 on a bike or anything else for your home and realize it's instantly broke and that company's not going to get behind it, that they're going to make it a nightmare for you to try to fix it. Well, with Bowflex, it was so simple. I called and I got one person and they set up everything that needed to be done. They troubleshot the issue, they identified what they needed to do, and they didn't skip when it came to delivering the parts that were needed. On the first go round, they sent an entire new bike, everything but the console. Now I ended up being unlucky and the console was where the issue was. Now I can't blame them for that. It's not like they sent me some tiny little part that didn't matter and they knew wouldn't fix it. They sent me a whole new bike. It just happened to be the one thing they didn't send, because they truly thought it was gonna be some of the sensors down here. Well, I called them back and said, I didn't fix it, expecting a big ordeal. They didn't fight me on it at all. They said, okay, must be the console, we'll get that sent. It is gonna be a bit of a delay. We have some supply chain issues, we apologize for that. They were upfront, I knew what to expect. I honestly only have good things to say about how they supported me, how it went, how easy it was to work with them. Yes, it took a long time. I don't think in a year that will be the same case. I think that's just where we're at right now. But how well they supported me helped me forget how long it took to fix. They treated me very well. I appreciate that. And it makes me feel more comfortable telling people that this might be a good option for them because I know Bowflex is behind their product. So support was good to go. A lot more to come on this bike, but if you could, hit that like button for me. All I ask, you know I really appreciate it. So now that the bike is fully repaired and fully functional, what do I think? Well, let's start with the two issues that I ran into, and that were the speakers and the tilt sensor. Now the speakers, I think they're very good. They're external speakers, so they're not the ones that are inside the tablet or the monitor and only have a little bit to work with. They have a little bit more of a fuller sound, a little bit more bass to them. They have a little bit more volume to them. They're just really good speakers. Now, they're not entertainment level speakers if you're hooking up in an entertainment center, but they're still, for just putting a bike in there and having good quality sound, I think they're very good and most people are gonna be very happy with them. It definitely adds to the ride. Now, as far as a sensor, what that does is when you lean, it will show you indicators on which side you're leaning towards. So left versus right, it will show you over time how much time you've spent leaning to each side. And if you're out of balance, you spent way more time on the right side, well, you want to get to the left side and balance it out so you're treating your body equally. Not a huge add to the bike. Didn't really take away from my experience when I didn't have it, but now it's there. It's just another feature, another thing that ties into the lean functionality that no one else has, adds a little bit more, gives you another thing to focus on, and helps you just make sure you balance out that ride. So it's good. I'm glad it works. Not a huge deal, not a huge feature, but nice. But overall thoughts, I really like this bike. Right now, I have 3 bikes that stand above the rest, and each have their own use case on why they might be the right bike for you, but this is one of those 3. If I could only have one bike going forward and this was it, I would be very happy. Now I could say that about the other 2 bikes as well. But some of the reasons I really enjoy this bike and think it might be a great choice for anybody that does decide to get it is first, just the overall quality. When I get on this thing, I feel like I'm on a high quality bike. It's well built, it feels strong underneath me, the functionality is good, the overall bike experience, how it works, the screen, the feedback, all the features of it is just a well built, well thought out bike, and it just works very, very well. And I do like the lean mode, not so much for the excitement factor, but what it does for the exercise. When you really get into those leans and you hold them for a while and you're also cycling, so your cardio staying up, you can feel a lot of muscles engaging. You have this muscle that's kind of planted and holding you to the side where the other one's pulling you back. So you're engaging a lot of arm muscles, your shoulders, your chest. You're also engaging your core as you try to keep your posture right, and you truly are lean to the side, holding that position. So it does a lot for the ride. Now it does also add an interest level. You're leaning on a bike, you're moving around, there are things going on. So when it comes to trying to keep this bike interesting, yes, it does do that. But personally, I just love that it adds more to the quality of the exercise. Another thing is the variety or the multitude of ways to use this bike. Now, if you want to live in studio-based rides, well, this isn't the best at that. It's still good, but there are other bikes that if you just want to live there and that's where you're going to be, they might be better. But when it comes to this bike, there are just so many different ways to use it and keep the entertainment factor up, change it up, not feel like you're doing that same ride or that same structure every single time. I personally love that about this bike. And just to highlight my quick list here of things you can do on this bike that set it apart from the rest, or just shows you how many different ways you can use it. I'm gonna use my cheat sheet here, otherwise I'll never get through it. Studio rides, scenic rides, choose your own music station, which is pretty neat because you can really just pick what you want and change it up. You don't have to just do the soundtrack that's tied to the studio ride they're doing. You can take the music track, pick what you want that day, and apply it to the type of ride you want. You can mix things up and change things to match what you're feeling. It's pretty neat. AI instructors, streaming integrations, lean-based rides, Peloton and Zwift integration capabilities. It just does so much. I do want to make more videos about this bike because I really do think it should be a strong contender when you're trying to determine which bike to buy. And also it just does deserve more attention because it is one of the best bikes out there. Now with that, some of the videos I'm thinking about creating are comparing this to the Peloton Bike Plus, the S22i, and the Stride. I'm also thinking about creating a My Top 3 Bikes video, which this would obviously be part of. So comment down below. I want to make the videos that you want. So let me know which videos you want, what you want this featured in, or if it's something else. I'll try to create that as well. But help me out. I want to create the videos that you want. But thank you for watching. Please hit that like button if you can. Don't forget to subscribe to stay on top of everything health and technology. And until next time, here's to a healthier you, and have a good one.